What's going on, fam? Welcome to the Fighter Share Report. It is Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Brew. This is the Badger. Hey, whatever's going on, we're going to work through it. What's going on, man?
Man, listen, I'm here for this flagship, more refined and mature show we call the Fighter Show Report because I'm happy to be here with you, bro. It's Wednesday, it's hump day. What a day, what a time to be alive, brother. So we here.
You froze.
Did I? Can you hear me?
It can stay in the 30s. I'm good with it. 20s, 30s, I'm good with it.
I mean, when you got that natural insulation, bro, it's cool. I get it.
No,
But for me, I
I
just
just real men come from the north. So we can deal with
oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. That sums it all up. Let's get to
we
it.
can deal with the cold.
I'm saying these names not because they're essentially the best fighters out there, which we can make a case for Shakur Stevenson definitely. Um, they just look that much better than whoever they fight.
I think he might want to keep this thing on the feet and stay any way possible. Stay away from that guillotine choke. he was
Yeah,
squeezing Buddy's face in the last fight and
yeah.
put him out.
Come on, dog. Let's fight.
Welcome to the Fighter Share Report.
Kidding me? What's going on, family? It is our flagship
Hey,
show, the Fighter Share Report. Hey, you see the big
hey.
fight that was announced? Lipinets versus Boots Ennis.
It is going down, but listen, my friend, I will not allow you to act like that. That was not the best intro in the history of all intros. That was my first time seeing it, so I'm pretty pleased, man. So great job with that. Now, on to this fight. I'm excited to get a real game, Sergey Lipinets. And listen, Sergey's not coming lay down, and he could upset Boots. I'm not saying that he's on Boots' level as far as what he can do from a physicality standpoint, right?
All right.
The quickness, the twitchiness, all the great things we like about Boots. But guess what? Lipinets is going to make him fight. And when it comes down to a fight, then guess what? A lot of other stuff we like to see that flashy, fancy footwork, all the head movement. None of that really matters because we got to fight. And I think Sergey Lipinets is going to make Jerron Boots Ennis be the best Boots Ennis he can be up until this point. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too. I know Boots has been your guy for a long time. A long time. You've been mentioning him on this show for a minute.
Yeah, for sure. We had a opportunity to get to see Boots up close and personal. And what I mean by that is he got to fight a guy that we had the privilege of covering on several different occasions, the gentleman Alvarez out of Key West.
Mm-hmm.
And they were on Showbox about 2 years ago. Him, that let me know that he was the real deal because up until that point, the gentleman and all of his pink candor have been really knocking people out here in Florida. So when he did that, we knew this kid was the real deal.
Yeah, uh, definitely. Because Armando Alvarez was just, but it showed that Boots was a step up in competition, a real step up in competition from the guys that we had seen Armando fighting. And Armando can fight. So we're not saying that he had cupcakes. He was just that much better than his competition up until that point. And when he met Boots, it was just a whole nother level.
Yeah, and people listen. This fight is going to remind a lot of people eerily in comparison. Hear me out here. When Jamar Charlo faced Sergey Derevchenko not too long ago, it's almost that same type of thing, right? We
Mm-hmm.
got one guy who we know physically, right, is going to just be better. He has
Right?
better physical attributes. But then there's a man sitting across from him that not only does he not care about any of that, but he also has a good enough boxing IQ and boxing skill to even give that fast, twitchy style some problems. Great counter punching, solid defense, good head movement, and just being a tough cuss. Sergey Lipinets is all of that in one.
Yeah.
With a lot of experience, more experience than Boots. So this is going to be a good fight, man. I'm glad you brought this up to start the show off, man. This is going to be an exciting.
I'm looking forward to this, and this is April 10th. This is right around WrestleMania weekend, so this is gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see who the UFC puts on that weekend, or if they'll just kind of leave that weekend open. But that's an interesting weekend to host that fight. But hey, I'm looking forward to it. I will be watching because I want to see what Boots can do against Lipinets. Because Lipinets, I saw an interview with him when they told him about the fight, and it seemed like he was excited. He was excited to get in there with Jaron Ennis. So, Jaron, hit us up. We'd love to talk to you about this fight before the fight.
And listen, and also we have a little bit of an insight with Sergey Lipinets. Sergey fought our homeboy, your boy more exclusively, Clarence Booth. That's with 2 F's and 2 O's out of St. Pete.
Listen.
And
I am not from St. Pete.
And we were covering that fight. And we were shocked that he stopped Booth. Not that he won, but that he stopped him. Since then, he's been there with Mikey Garcia. He beat Eric Bonet, Lamont Peterson, and he just had a tough draw with Custio Clayton a few months back. And that was a hell of a fight. Custio Clayton, another name out there that makes you some action as a result of that fight. So this has all the elements of being a great fight. And
we'll dive into it more as we get closer to the fight. Look, another OMG. Tired of you getting rid of me off this screen, pretty boy. So
okay. Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
Against Caleb Truax.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I just want to know, is Jordan going to be there? That's all I want to know. She going to be covering the fight?
Listen, I will say this, and I'm saying this in all honesty and full transparency for you, my friend. Not only is she a married woman, but she's protected by a guy that can really throw them hands. So you might want to.
First of all, I'm a married man, and I got a woman who can really throw them hands. So I'm just looking from a distance.
Indeed.
What did Midler say? From a distance.
Hey, window shopping, right? Ain't nothing wrong with it, bro. But yeah, Jordan, I'm sure she'll be there in full support, probably, and hopefully not working. So she can really enjoy the fight. But yeah, man, this is going to be a good one. Another fight where you got one guy that is just supposed to be better, right? Does everything better. Even does a better job at doing what his opponent does, which sometimes means just making it a hard fight, coming forward and just making it tough. Caleb Plant can do those things too. This may not be the fight he should choose to do that in because Caleb Truax seems to be a guy that when he's counted out most, rises up to the occasion. It's going to be the Lamborghini against the Ford, right? The working man against the superior fighter from a physical perspective.
Here's the thing, though. When you say that, Caleb Plant doesn't give you that air. He doesn't give you that superior, but he's skilled. I mean, he's very polished, but he's a very hard-working, detail-oriented fighter. He reminds me a little bit of a Jamal Charlo. Not with the power, but he does everything that he's supposed to do well. And you don't get Caleb outside of his game plan. He seems to stick with that. It's like, hey, if this doesn't work, I'm going down with it. But he's talented enough and athletic enough where he can do some things outside of the game plan if need be. But he's been able to, he doesn't look like he's ever uncomfortable in the ring.
Listen, the ring is his domain. He is just at home in the ring as he is probably in his own living room. Caleb Plant is a masterful, and let me use masterful loosely. Caleb Plant is a very good boxer. Mm-hmm. He is a pure boxer in every sense of the word. But every now and then you'll see that Tennessee country boy come up in him, mm-hmm. and he'll dig down and he'll fight. He'll stand there and he'll dig down and he'll fight. I don't think that that's probably the best plan of action for this fight because the guy he's fighting, not only is he very tough and very rugged, he got a real big, hard head. You know, he's been known for busting people up with that head, Caleb Truax. He makes fights hard. He makes them difficult. He makes you have to work.
Like Sean Porter.
Yeah, they kind of in similar veins. Yeah, kind of.
Well, listen, I'm going out on a limb. I like Caleb Plant. I know we don't pick fights. We don't pick the outcomes of fights on this show. We say as impartial as possible. But barring anything catastrophic, I see Caleb Plant holding on to that belt for a long time, if not cleaning out the division. I like Caleb Plant.
Wow, did you say clean out division?
I
So
sure
let me
did.
get this straight. Let me get you on documentation.
Because he's at 168, right? He's at 168. Yeah. I know who's there. I know who's there.
So no Canelo, no Charlo.
Charlo's at
no
160
Benito.
right now, right?
Yeah, but no. But he's coming to 68. He already said he's fighting these guys at 68.
Right. When he comes to there, okay. But right now,
Okay,
I
so
see
David Benavidez?
I see Caleb Plant, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Now, Canelo, listen, that's always one of those, if you want to be great, you got to be Canelo. Do I think Caleb Plant can do it? At everybody at 168 right now, him and Benavidez have the best chance, and I think he has a better chance than Benavidez right now.
I can see that. Styles make fights. I can see that. Although that Benavidez fight may be more exciting, he'd take a lot of shots in that fight.
Right. Man, sometimes things work like supposed to. There he goes, putting me off the darn screen again. But that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. I got something for him. Now,
What is happening
back.
here? What is this?
Yes! Yes! I'm glad you kept talking about Charlo because I believe at some point before they retire, this is going to happen.
You're insane.
Yes,
You're
possibly.
crazy.
Possibly.
They will
But-
never, bro.
But I do believe this. At some point, the money will be right, and they will probably both hold all the titles in their divisions. And the money will be right. You will never have an opportunity in boxing to have twins of this caliber to square off. I kid you not. I believe this will be the first $400 million gate fight. With pay-per-view and the gate, I believe these two could really split more money than Mayweather-Pacquiao split. If they continue to win like they're winning and clean out the divisions, this would be that mega fight, and it would probably be held in Reliance Stadium or AT&T Stadium. I would say Reliance Stadium because that's where, they're actually from New Orleans, but their hometown is Houston. Or even put them in the Superdome. Either way, but I believe this would be a mega fight.
This is also preposterous, man. Like,
Here we go.
Come on, bro.
Here
Like,
we go.
Are you serious? First of all, look, as entertaining as that may be, and we can entertain it for the purpose of this show. We can talk about the different skill sets and who we like. But to actually think that you'd get these two, first of all, you got a harder time containing these guys when they fight people that they don't like or they don't know. The type of hard love they have for each other, bro, you would not want to see these brothers fight.
I would.
Klitschko and his brother would never fight. The
That's
Charlos are
them.
never gonna fight.
That's them.
The
I'm
Charlos are never
saying
gonna fight.
this-
Michael and Leon never fought. This
They
is
couldn't
not
read.
going to happen.
They didn't know who they were fighting until they got in the ring.
This is not going to happen. But just for entertainment purposes of this particular segment, bro, I like Jamal's skill set better than I like Jermel's. But I think that if the fire got hot, I like Jermel because I think he's been through more. I think he's had to walk the gauntlet a little bit more than his older brother. And that's not to take anything away from his older brother's talent. I just think that if the fire got hot, I think Mel would be the one I would pick.
Sadly enough, I was thinking on the same lines as far as what would happen, but the only thing that I question is if Maul got Mel on the point where he could put him out, if he would be able to stick that knife in his heart. I do believe that Mel would definitely stick the knife in Jamal's heart in the ring, but I wonder if Maul would stick the knife. Would he put him out, or would he let him go? I mean,
you did that pretty good. I like that. That was good.
I just don't know. But I would buy a ticket. I mean, literally, I would pay for this pay-per-view. So I wouldn't want the stream to go down or nothing. I would pay for this one.
Yeah.
Not that I stream them illegally or nothing while watching at the Badgers house. But yeah, no.
But yeah, I mean that is an interesting topic, and they've been asked this so much so early on in their careers that they haven't been asked about it since, or at least since I've been watching them take interviews recently. But yeah, they always said they would never fight. Their mom, would never allow it to happen. So
listen,
I'm good with that. And listen, with the way they go at it on social media, man.
Exactly.
I would want to see these two dudes fight. Man.
I would. You have never seen a fight like you seen when brothers fight, because they throw everything out the window. It's like, you know what? I remember when Mom bought you them new sneakers and I had to wear your old ones. I mean, little things like she used to give you the bigger half of the peanut butter sandwich. I'm gonna take that out your behind right now. These are little things that will come up. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said it. You got your 2 minutes. My bad, family.
No, man, it doesn't matter because hey, my stamina is a little low today. I may not make it my full 2 minutes. I'm gonna do my best. So as I was trying to come up with something to rant on about, I figured why not talk about what we were just talking about the other day? What is going on in boxing to where we have to have Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao talking about a fight? I mean, we love combat sports so much on this platform that we gave just as much credence as to that fight likely happening as we did about another fight that's actually happening that is going to be culturally relevant when it shouldn't be. And that's an amateur boxer fighting an MMA guy who was probably the worst striker at the highest level in MMA. And that's Jake Paul against Ben Askren. So what is happening in combat sports? Well, listen, what we find out in this pandemic is that content is an insatiable thing. You can never have too much of it. I remember when the concept of streaming fights and making sure that certain things happen was an early concept that started with me and this man about 6 years ago. Unfortunately for us, we never got the capital to make it happen. It don't mean we're gonna stop trying. But back to my point, we're at a crossroads where combat sports, which is something that was the most sacred amongst all sports, when I talk about the purity of what you have to put into it. And now we're starting to see that get eroded and chipped away because of social media. Now we get Manny Pacquiao, who should be getting ready for his swan song, going out on his shield against a great, or at least giving Keith Thurman a rematch. If you're not going to fight Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford, somebody, right? Maybe a Jerron Boots Ennis, maybe a Virgil Ortiz, but no, he might be fighting Ryan Garcia, who should be chasing all the tough guys in his division, because right now that is the deepest division. But they're talking about fighting each other as an exhibition. Come on, y'all, we gotta do better than that. But hey, I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Floyd Mayweather.
Wow. Let you deal with that on your own, talking about pretty boy Floyd Mayweather Jr. Listen, 2 minutes. Let's deal with the NCAA football. The conversation is not going away about compensating players. The conversation, unfortunately for the NCAA, is here to stay because they've penalized so many players over the years when the rules have been enacted to only funnel money to the NCAA and have them govern how it goes out to the schools. So, when these players start saying, hey, if you're in the NCAA, I'm not going to your school. A lot of people say, man, that's not going to happen. That'll never happen. They got to go to the NCAA schools if they want to be seen. Not necessarily, because you have so many different networks popping up, picking up Big Sky games, or not Big Sky, but picking up NAIA games, picking up smaller schools. So you have some students now who are choosing not to go to the NCAA in protest of the NCAA saying they will not even entertain paying players for using their likeness on the jersey, for using their pictures in the programs, for using their names in promotions. They have some 5-star, 4-star blue chip recruits who are choosing to go in the other direction. And I think as time goes on, the NCAA is going to find itself obsolete because they're chipping away at it at different angles. And if these schools who are talking about going and joining the NAIA and other areas and getting out of the NCAA, if they don't do it, the players defecting and going another way are going to cause these schools to do it. So that's my 2 minutes. I had another piece to wrap it up, but you know what? It's time for the wrap up. Look pretty, Tony. Stop getting rid of me. I just think it's interesting, bro. I think it's really interesting because the NCAA itself is refusing to hear what the players are saying, and even what the coaches are saying now. And when the coaches are like, hey, we're losing some recruits because they understand how much money we're making off of them. We have coaches making $7 and $10 million a year. I mean, you look at Jim Harbaugh. He made $70 million over 10 years at the University of Michigan. And his players got what? Over the table.
Man, listen, everything that's going on right now is people becoming more aware and just understanding the value and the work that they have. And that's one thing that Nipsey Hussle talked about a lot. And I think one thing that his legacy definitely left behind it was knowing your worth. And people are seeing it now. And the NCAA has been winning this battle for a long time, but the times are changing, man. Real quick though, so how about I was talking to my brother last night for his birthday? Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my son too. Happy birthday to my firstborn. But listen, so I'm on the phone with my brother last night. He's watching my nephew's basketball game. They paid $10 a month to subscribe to this high school streaming platform where they get conversation for another day, my friend. But yes, that's a thing right now.
Unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And you know why I'm saying unbelievable. Because we've talked about this a couple years ago.
Get your shots out of it, man.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to my mom, my wife, Pops for watching. Thank you for chiming in. My daughter, who y'all hear on the intro. Come on, dog. Let's fight. So you.
Hey, Fighters Nation, we appreciate everybody for rocking with us. We'll see y'all tomorrow on our Let's Refine show. I really get to be who I am and get out of this suit. Until tomorrow, peace.
Hopefully he'll wear some drawers at least.
Swing low.
Oh, Lord. Oh.